of them join late, right? So they can watch my video. So the usually, I give 2 minutes or 3 minutes the grace time. Anyhow, we will get started. Today's topic is not going to be that difficult topic to understand. So okay, I started the recording. In today's session, we will start explore the Power BI desktop once again. And I believe most of you have installed Power BI desktop. I just give you a quick overview on how to download the Power BI desktop. It's a very pretty simple tool, especially when it comes to installation. It's very simple one. You just go to the Google and just type download Power BI desktop. This is the first step, and the second step is you can find in the search result, right? The first link is the downloadable link, wherein you can go and download the Power BI desktop. Just click on the first link, and if you scroll down a bit, you will find something called advanced download options. Okay, advanced download options. Here you just click on this link, okay, and advanced download options. When you click on it, it will take you to the next page, and here the language English. Most of us prefer only English, right? So you can click on download and select the first option. When you click on the download, it will show you two options to download the Power BI desktop. The first one is the preferable one, 64-bit, because most of us are using 64-bit version. Hence, you select this one and click on next. That's it. It will get downloaded right. So it will get downloaded. So just initiate the download by saving it. Whichever folder that you want it, you just save it there, and it will take for a while. So once the download has been, done, right? So you need to click on the exe file. When you click on the exe file, it will open up the installation window. For example, I'm going to just pause this one, and I'll just show you the one which I already installed. Since I downloaded it several times, right? So this file is already available in my system. Okay, it takes time here. I don't know. I would have shifted to somewhere else that file. So once this file gets downloaded, let's wait for a moment. It will not take much time. Sorry for guys. Already I showed you how to download this one, and now for the interest of those of them join today's session, right? You can just take a look at this one. Okay, good. The download was successful, and I just click on the show in folder. Look here, this is the exe file. I just click on it once gently, and it will open the installation window of the Power BI. Look here, that's all. You want to run this file. If you click on run, it will take some time. And it asks about the language, okay? And all you need to do just see, in my case, I already installed, hence it comes directly here, okay? So select the, you don't have to make any changes to the configuration, simply click next button. So when you click on when you first screen, it will display the language. The default one is English. Click on, hit the next button, and then you will find something like right, so computing resources. It will take some time to check whether you have sufficient space available in your C drive. I would suggest you to keep at least 100 GB free space in your C drive. That's the best thing. because we are going to use SQL Server and SQL Server Management Studio. You need sufficient amount of free space available in your C drive before you install Power BI Desktop and even the Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, when it comes to Power BI Desktop, it will take some time to check for the free space that are available in your C drive or whichever drive that you specified. And once that has been done, right, if the tool finds you have sufficient space, and it will enable the next button, you click on next button, keep click next button, and that's all. Okay, and when you click on it first time, right, it will display install button. Sorry, install thing here. You will find the install button here. When you hit that, the installation will start. It is that much simple. And then you will find the progress bar, installation progress bar. You can see it, and after a few minutes, you will find installation was successful. That's it. You're all set. And click on finish. Your Power BI installation was done. And probably I will share my other video. You can watch that one while installing it if you still pose any issues, right? So once you install the Power BI Desktop, you don't have to reboot your laptop, and you need to go to the start button. In the next to the start button, then the search, right, you just type Power BI Desktop. The moment when you type it, you will find the icon here. So you will find the icon here. Okay, either you can click on this icon or you can click on the open here. When you click on the open, it will get opened something like this. Okay, so initially it will open the welcome screen. I just show you one more time. I'll open one more session, but don't open more than one time the Power BI Desktop. It is a bit slow. At least you should have 8 GB RAM in your system. If you don't have 8 GB, it will take longer time. Okay, see, even I have 16 GB RAM, but still it is very slow. I would say very slow if I open more than one session. So this is what you will get it, the welcome screen. I don't know why my cursor is keep moving. I just click on this one. Once you click on the cross, right, the welcome screen will go away. This is what your Power BI Desktop. I just go ahead and close that one, because if unnecessarily if I open multiple Power BI Desktop application, it will slow down my system performance. All right. Now this is what my Power BI Desktop. And if you see here, just give me a second. My favorite application got closed. Here you will find three icons here in the Power BI Desktop. On the top left, right, you will find these things, and this is your report canvas view. Okay, this icon is related to your report canvas. This is what you are seeing right here. This is the one is your report canvas. This is where we create all the reports. We just use these visuals. Okay, you have something called visualizations pane on the right side. Just beneath this, you will find all the visuals. If you click on this, the clustered column chart will get created here, and then with the dummy data. And you have something called stacked column chart, and stacked bar chart is also available. And clustered bar chart, clustered column chart, 100% stacked bar chart, 100% stacked column chart are available. So likewise, various visuals are available. Apart from this, when you click on these three dots, this is called ellipse. Okay, when you click on this, you will have an option like get more visuals. Okay, and when you click on get more visuals, apart from these visuals, you can import the custom visuals from various sources. Okay, from third-party applications also you can download it. Okay, net, this is what your report canvas, the white thing, right? This is where you can create your report by dragging and dropping the appropriate visuals you are going to create it. Okay, and you can use map, or you can use charts. You can do it everything. And the next one icon is related to your data view. Okay, this is your data view, and the other icon is related to your pivoting. So let's say once you load the data into Power BI Desktop, you can find the fields, right? Under the fields pane, you can find the file name. And when you expand the icon that is next to your file name, you can see all the columns that belongs to that file. Okay. For illustration purpose, what I do is I simply click on this get data icon. I just click on the get data icon, and here you will find something called text here. So these are the various connectors. If you want to connect to web sources, if you want to grab the data from a website, you can click on the in this option, and you can specify the website URL. It will go and grab the data from that specific URL and load it into your Power BI desktop. Similarly, if I wanted to load some text file or any flat files, which are nothing but the text file and CSV file into your Power BI desktop, you can click on this one. I will show you other options, other connectors, how to use it in a little later time. So I just at this moment click on the text CSV because I have a CSV file that is available in my laptop. Guys, don't worry, these files are available in my website. Okay, I'll show you the link also where you can go and download it little later. Okay, so this is the file I'm going to use it. This is a CSV file. What is CSV? CSV stands for comma separated value file. Comma separated value file. I just click on open. Power BI desktop will create or establish a link, connection with this CSV file, and then it will open up the data preview window. So whatever the contents, what are the data that are available in that CSV file, you can, for that you can see the preview here. Okay, just few records. It will show some records here. Okay, not the entire data file data. Okay, because if this file has millions of records, and if it has to show the millions of records in the data, it will take longer time. So you just show the first 200 rows, something like that. Okay, and next you have three options: load this data into Power BI desktop, or transform the data, or you can cancel it. If you click on cancel, this file will not get loaded. Load, this data file will get loaded into Power BI desktop, whereas the transform data will take you to the Power Query editor. Okay, that is where we do all kind of data cleaning, everything. The simple thing is, if you want to create any report, you need to have the data. Without data, you cannot create any report. Okay, data is available. How good the data? The data is the format of the columns are not in a proper shape, or if the data types were wrongly assigned to the columns, right? You need to assign the appropriate data type to all the columns. There are sometimes what will happen is when Power BI while you load the data into Power BI desktop, it can assign the wrong data type to certain columns, right? So because, for example, order date column has values like this, right? It has values something like this. You have a month, date, year format. You're also a month, date, but in between you have in the first value you have forward slash, and second value to separate the month, date, year, it uses hyphen here. Okay, so you have something like this. Hence, Power BI desktop, think that these are text data type. Okay, hence it assigns the text data type to order date. But actually, order date is not a text data type. We know that very well because it's a date data type. Okay, so in that case, what you need to do is you can click on the transform data, and you just go there and you can change the data type from text to date data type. But it is not as easy as how I explained. Okay, but in practical life, right? Once you go to the transform data, the Power Query editor, and you need to do some kind of cleaning. Okay, you cannot blindly you cannot convert this to a data type upfront. Okay, there are some challenges. I'll explain a little later. So transform data, I'm not going to use it now. And cancel, it is not helpful. If I click on cancel, this data will not get loaded into my Power BI desktop. Instead, I will click on the load icon here, load button. I just hit that load button. It will take some time to load that file's content into my Power BI desktop. So once the file is loaded, you can see the file detail just under the fields pane. So this is called your fields pane on the extreme right side of your Power BI desktop. You will find the fields pane, and just beneath the fields pane, you will find the file which you uploaded it recently. Okay, and if you notice here very clearly, this is actually a CSV file. What is CSV file? CSV file stands for the comma separated files. It's also called as a flat file. Okay, and most of the projects wherein I work, they are using most of the US customers or UK customers, where I worked, right? So they are using majority of customers, they use the comma separated value files. Okay, comma separated value files. So the CSV file, .csv file, the file extension is CSV, .csv. It is, the abbreviation for comma separated value files is the CSV. Okay. So what is this comma separated value file? You might be wondering, especially those of you are, new into the IT, right? Software. Each column in this file will be separated by comma. The column separator, it is comma. Okay, comma. See the comma. So actually the comma notation. Okay. For example, I have something called order date and order number and order date. So these two columns, are separated by comma. And then next one is, let's say I have some line item. I have something called line item key, and I have something called SKU, stock keeping unit, and then the price, the quantity, so on and so forth. And when you see the data here, let's say my order number is AX 0255, comma, the order date is 07 August 2022, and the line item key is, let's say, 1, and SKU is something like a P C08X01. Okay, this is one product. Okay, likewise, so here if you see the column name and the column values, right? For example, order number, this is order number. The order number is separated from order date using the comma. Likewise, each column is separated with a comma, so that you can easily distinguish which value belong to which column. If you don't have comma, the separator, if you don't have it, it is very difficult, isn't it? So if all the values are typed continuously without any separator, it is difficult to find out which value belongs to which column. That's the reason why they store the data with the comma delimiter, so that you can easily make out which data belongs to which column. It's pretty simple. And some projects I've seen, they are using pipe symbol. Okay, so for example, here in this case, they specify pipe. Instead of comma, they use pipe. Okay, some cases I have seen they are using semicolon. Okay, some American US projects I have seen they are using semicolon. Okay, this is the one they use it. In some cases they use, I've worked in different types of projects, they use tab. Okay, so 1 2 3 4, 4 space is nothing but your tab. Between one column to another column, tab is used. Fixed length, fixed length width. Okay, files will be there, fixed length files. Okay, so in this case, each column is separated by a tab. Okay, so so in order to understand which value belongs to which column, they use tab. Some cases they use, but predominantly most of them they use the comma separated values. So some cases I've seen they use pipe symbol and semicolon. Okay, so, right. So this is the thing. Okay, fine. If I just open the file also, I'll show you what is the content of that file. I'll just show you the file from my Microsoft Windows system. sales underscore W04. This is the file. You just click on it. You can see the type as Microsoft Excel, comma, separated values file. You can open it in the notepad also. Once you open the file, you can see the column names and the values, everything. Okay. But here you will not notice the comma and all when you open it in the Excel file. Instead, when you right click on it and open it with Notepad, I would suggest you all to install Notepad++. This is a very good tool. It is a open source. It's a free. It's a open source. Okay. Look here. I just opened the Notepad. I opened this file in Notepad. Here you can see that the row.id. This is a single column name. Okay. Within this column, you can see dot is used. Don't think dot is the separator. Okay. So row.id, comma. So here the column separator is comma. Okay. And when you use a notepad to open and view this file content, you can easily make out that each column is separated by comma. Hence, the delimiter in this file is comma. Okay, comma separated. It is it is stored with .csv extension. Okay. Okay, so now I have loaded that sales underscore W04 file, the .csv file into the Power BI desktop. But you might be wondering, where is that extension? Extension will not get displayed. If you load any type of file, whether it is a comma separated value file or it's a JSON file or XML file or Parquet file or whether it's a EDI file or you name it anything, okay? So irrespective of the type of the file, which you load it into Power BI desktop, it will be considered as a table in Power BI desktop. Look here, you can see the table icon along with the file name. Okay, henceforth, this is not considered as a file, it will be considered as a table in Power BI desktop. Okay. And you want to see the columns that are part of this file or table, you need to click on this greater than sign to expand the files content. Okay, so you can see the column names are specified as column 1, column 2, something like that. Okay. Okay, but it is difficult to make out, what values are there in each column. What is this column 1 is all about? What is this column 16 is all about? There is some problem with this file. Okay, I'll explain you what problem we have in this file. So next thing is, okay, I've seen the file name. As soon as the file got loaded successfully, under the fields pane, I can see the file name. And also when I expand this, I can see the columns that belongs to this file. And if you want to see the data, you need to go to this thing. Okay, you need to click on the data icon. So the middle one is the data icon. Click on this one. Here you can go and see the data that belongs to this file. You can see all the data here. It will take some time. If you have 4 GB RAM, it will take little more time to load the data here. But you need to have patience when it comes to Power BI stock. Okay, and especially when you load more than 100,000 records, it will take time to load it. Okay, so this is where you can see the data that belongs to this file. If you want to see the column, you can just expand it here also. You can see all the column names that belongs to this file. But still, you might be wondering why the column names, were not displayed with the appropriate name. Instead, it shows column 1, column 2. There is some issue in this file. Okay, at this moment, let us ignore this one. Now we understood how to load a file. So you need to click on the get data, like the same thing, the Excel, right? When you see this one, if you open Excel file, even in Excel file, you will find the same icon, the same name. Okay, uh, they simply reciprocated the Excel icons, some Excel icons in the Power BI desktop also, so that even the Excel users can easily learn Power BI desktop. Okay, so when you click on the get data icon, you will find the text CSV, and we went and just loaded the sales underscore 0, whichever file you wanted, you can load it here. And the second step is it will right. So under the fields pane, you will find the file name which you loaded it after a while. Okay. And then when you expand it, you can see the column name, everything. If you want to see the data, you cannot see it here itself. Okay. You need to go to this view. This is called your data view, and select this file. Supposing you have loaded more than one file, sales W04, and you have loaded another file called sales W05. If you wanted to see the data that belongs to sales W05, you need to click on that table so that you can see the data that belongs to sales underscore W05. So in our case, I have loaded only one file at this moment. Fine. Next, you must be wondering, what is this icon? This is called your model view. So this is where we do data model design, everything. See, this table now looks little bit different. Okay. And you have some icon like this. Okay. So this is where we do the data model design. This is what the one I referred it as a blueprint. Before you build a house, you need to have a blueprint, right? So what we do is, first we load the data, and second thing is we clean the data, and then the third thing is we do the data model design. See, in real life scenario, we'll be using multiple tables. So in some projects we have used 12 dimension tables and one fact table. In some other cases, we have used 16 dimension tables and two fact tables. I'll explain what is dimension fact tables. Don't worry. Okay. So in that case, what we need, so you need to, so the moment you load the files, you see you loaded 14 files, all the files you can find it here. And what Power BI Desktop does is it automatically detects the relationship between the tables. It creates the relationship between the files. At this moment, I'm not going to talk beyond this regarding the model view, because it is too early to discuss about the relationship, all the things. At this moment, you just think in the model view, you can see the data model design. That's it. Okay. Fine. So now you know how to load the simple file, CSV files. CSV file is also called as a flat file. Okay. And this is where you can view the data that belongs to this file. Good. And now what I do is I just go to the transform data. The transform data icon, okay, that is available in your under your home ribbon. So what you need to just click on this here, and you will find transform data. Click on this. When you click on this, it will open something called Power Query Editor. So you remember I related this one with our home kitchen. So in our home kitchen, what we do is we not only cook the food. Before we cooking the food, we cut the vegetables and we clean it, and we mix the recipes with the vegetables, and we prepare masalas, and then we start to the cooking. So all the data cleaning, we do it here because it has a lot of features available in the Power Query Editor. Just by pointing and clicking itself, you can do the data transformation. You don't have to write any program. Okay. So zero code is required to do the data transformation. But in some cases, if you want to perform some complex data transformation, in that kind of situations, you may have to write some M language. Okay. At this moment, let us not worry about that. Okay. But most of the things we can do it with the help of these features that are available as part of the transform ribbon. What I did, I just in my Power BI desktop, in the home ribbon, you can see the transform data. I just selected this one. It opened up some another interface called the Power Query Editor. This is where we do all kind of data cleaning, data merging, appending the data, left join, right join, all these things. Whatever thing you do it in SQL, SQL, or RDBMS, right? Same thing you can do it. The SQL kind of operation you can do it here. Fine. So now we will fix some issue here. Like I said, so the column names are a little bit weird, right? So it is column 1, column 2, very difficult to find out what is column 3 and what is column 4, right? If you are a domain expert, if you scroll down and see the data, you can understand, okay, this is order date, this must be ship date. Okay, but the thing is, the problem here is already I have the column names are available in the first row. Just above this first row, I have blank values here in my data file. There is some issue with my data file. Okay, so I need to remove this blank space, and then I need to promote this first row as a column header. From here to here, I need to push it. Row ID should get displayed here, and order ID should get displayed here, and order date should get appear here. Okay. So what I do is, there is a simple icon, that is, with the help of this icon, I can simply promote this row as a column header. Look here how I do it. So in under transform ribbon, so here when you by default, when you open a Power Query, it will be like this. You need to click on transform ribbon, and wherein you will find use first row as headers. You just select this one. Now I'm going to select use first row as headers. We have two options, and here use headers as first row. No, we want to use the first row as headers. Okay, but here the first row is a blank space. So let it be there, nothing can be done. So look here, now I'm going to click on this one. Let's see what happens. All the column 1 got changed as ABC, AC1, but still it is not meaningful. I'm going to select this one, use first row as it is. Okay, I just click on this one. Now this row got promoted as columns successfully. Okay, this is row.id, order date. It is that much simple. Okay, we don't have to write any program. For example, if you use Python, we have something called pandas package, right? So you need to write little bit programming there, right? So to change your or promote your first row as columns, right? But here you don't have to do anything. Simply point this, select this, and click on this. Point and click. That's all. But if you notice here, in the formula here, right? In the formula thing, right? You can see whatever we did it, right? It got it generates behind the scene something called M language. M language is also called as a mashup language. Look here, promoted errors. I just click on this one. Promoted errors, promoted all scalars equals changed to type 1, right? So on our behalf, behind the scene, the Power Query editor generates these scripts to migrate the first row to your column name. Okay, to convert your first row as a column header, right? So behind the scene, it generates the script. You don't have to write this program. Okay, you don't have to write this script, table dot transform column type. This is one of the function, built-in function, that is available as part of M language. It is also called as a mashup language. So in the case of Power Query Editor, it generates the script on your behalf behind the scene. Okay, fine. So we don't have to do write all these scripts. Whatever the action that we do it behind the scene, it generates the script. It's something like when you talk, you might have seen it, right? In the YouTube, if you upload a video, it automatically generates the text. Whatever you talk, just the caption gets generated, right? There's something like here, whatever action you do it, behind the scene, it generates the script on its own. Okay, this is what called as M language. Now the question is, do I need to learn M language also? If you learn M language, it is great. Okay, and because forget about clearing the interview or getting into a job, and if you work on any complex project, if that involves any complex logic needs to be involved, and if you know the M language, you don't have to write everything from the scratch. The partially, so whatever the scripts generated by Power Query Editor, you can simply go and modify it. Okay. At least if you know how to modify it, where to modify, how to modify it, that is good. And while modifying it, if you encounter any error, how to fix it, if you know it, that is more than sufficient. But there are some cases, yes, if you know the Power Query Editor script M language, good, but it is not mandatory. Okay, fine. So now we just moved the first row as a column header. Very good. We are successful in it. And if you see on the right side of this Power Query Editor, you will find something called the query settings. Right, query settings. Under this, you will find the properties. In the properties, you will find the same thing as sales W04. Okay, and as I told you, this is our sales W04 is a table, irrespective of the type of the file that you load it into your Power Query, Power BI desktop, it will be considered a table, but the same table is considered as queries in Power Query Editor because we are using Power Query Editor. Hence, it considers the table as a query. That's all. Okay, the query is one. Okay, if you load more than one file, for example, says W04 is a query, says W05 is another table, but here in the Power Query, it will consider that as a query. Fine. Now, if you look at on the right side here, I just want to rename this query with some meaningful name. So what I do is week 4 sales. I just want to rename something like this. You can go and rename it. Okay. Once you press enter after typing it, and it will get reflected here also. Okay. On the left side. Okay. Now we are able to rename the query successfully here. And next, if you look at this, this is the interesting one, applied steps. This applied step, just beneath this, we can see various steps are there. The first one is source, second one is change time, promoted headers, change type one, promoted is change type one. So what are the steps, whatever the steps that we carry out here, that one will get registered here. It's something like simple analysis, the CCTV, right? So in your apartment, you have a CCTV. So it records all the events sequentially, right? Who came first, who came later, right? So in same way, it records all the actions or the steps that we carry out against our data. It will be registered here, okay? Or it will get stored here in sequentially. For example, I don't need this column. Okay, I feel this is extra column. Okay, this doesn't make any sense because I'm not going to use this column in my report. I just keep the cursor over here in the middle of this thing. Okay, and right click on it, and I'm going to remove this one. When I click on remove option, this column will get removed. Look here, that column has gone. But what step I have taken, what action I carried out? Remove columns. Look here, behind the scene, the M language generated something called, sorry, it generated a script behind the scene, right? Table dot remove columns. This is the M language function. And then row dot ID. This column we removed it. Supposing I just remove some other column. Randomly, I just go and remove some other randomly in the sense, right? I don't need this column. Right click on it, remove it. Two columns I removed it. Later point in time, you just want to see, which columns that you removed it. You can just go just beneath, in the applied steps section, and you can see it here. Look here, and here you have something change type to. Okay, removed columns. When you click on this, you can see that row.id return these two columns you removed it. Okay, you removed it. For example, if I go and select only this one, if I remove that one, so you can make a changes to the script also there, and I just press enter here. Okay, and it shows row rate. Look here, my return column is available now. I just do it one more time. For example, I just delete it. And if you scroll towards your right side, since I removed the row.id, it went off. It is not there in my data set, that column. And if you scroll toward the right side, look here at the end of this table, right? We had a column called return. And right, so this column also got removed. These two columns got removed. Okay. And if you realize, if you think, no, I want this column back, you just remove that column name because you want that column back in your data set and press enter. Look here, that return column got restored. This is one way of redoing or undoing the changes. Okay, I just want to undo the changes. Like in the Word document, Microsoft Word document, you just type something and then you delete certain words, right? And later on you realize, no, I want those words back. Use Control Z, right? Control Z. But in Power Query Editor, Control Z will not work. Okay. So what is the way out? One way out is, you can, for example, I just deleted one more time. Okay. And since the step which I carried out got captured automatically under the applied steps. For example, removed columns, it shows row.id return, right? If I want to undo it, I just click on this one, the cross icon next to the removed column step, right? If I click on it, these two, this one will get, undone. Look here, the return column, I just got back my original values, including the row ID. But the challenge here is, right, I removed these two columns, remove row.id, and return also I'm going to remove it. If you want to, undo the same thing, you just click on this cross here. So it'll undo this step, and then it will go back to the previous state. So the previous state, we had both these columns, right? You can restore these two. You can, get back to the previous state. Okay. So that's what you can see. And also you can go and see, okay, what are the steps that you carried out. See, in real time scenario, we'll be applying a lot of steps here. I'll show you little later how, what are the steps that other steps, or what are the other transformations that we do it. Okay. As part of data cleaning, formatting, everything. Okay. Look here, so right, I removed the columns, but the beauty here is, okay, remove only row.id, and I need return column back. Okay, I just select this one, make sure that the comma also I removed it, and press enter. We'll get back return column. The row.id still got removed. Okay, I did not restore that file, that column. Got it? So fine. So far you understood, right? How to remove a column from the data set. And also, by how to make changes to this M language, the small changes to, restore or undo the column which I deleted it. Okay. So that you will get back the return. Later point in time, if you realize, no, I need the return column also, you can remove it here. This is one way of doing it. Okay. Okay. The next thing is, look here, I have an order date column. And when you see each and every column, just before each and every column, you will find something like ABC, ABC, and ABC here, ABC here, and ABC here. And if you scroll towards the right side, look here, this is what your scroll bar. And if you scroll towards your right side, you will find something like 1, 2, 3. Okay, you will find something like 1, 2, 3. Okay, before this column, before the quantity, you'll find 1, 2, 3. Discount, you'll find 1.2. Profit, you'll find 1.2. And but sales, just before sales, you'll see ABC. What are these icons? These icons tells us what data type this column is all about. For example, quantity is a whole number. It is an integer, 1, 2, 3, whole number. Okay. And what is discount? 1.2. What it tells us is discount is a decimal number. It's a numeric variable, but it's a decimal number data type, and the quantity is an integer data type, whole number data type. Whereas sales is a text data type. ABC is the text data type, but something wrong here. Actually, the sales column supposed to be a numeric value, numeric data type, but unfortunately, Power BI Desktop assigned this column as a text data type. Now we will take a look at why Power BI Desktop assigned the sales column with the text data type. If you scroll down a little bit here, we are fortunate enough that in the first column itself, we can make out why Power BI or Power Query Editor assigned text data type to sales column. Because if you see here, the value 2309.65 prefixed with dollar. Since dollar is a special character, if you specify any text value along with the numeric value, or any special character along with the numeric value, if you take any language, not only Power BI Desktop, the entire column will get converted as a text data type, because text will have the higher order of precedence when it comes to converting from one data type to another data type. So just because I have dollar value combined with the numeric value, that too for only one value in this column, the entire column got assigned with the text data type. Okay, fine. So now I just want to convert this a numeric data type. Otherwise, I cannot perform any arithmetic operation. What kind of arithmetic operation? Supposing I just wanted to see what is the profit, right? Selling price minus, if I subtract the cost of goods sold, roughly speaking, from the sales, I can get my or let's say, I can get my selling price, something like that. Right? So that what is my sales value, what is my cost of goods, right? I can see that, or I can see the profit. Sales minus cost of goods sold, you will get the profit, roughly speaking. Okay. Right. So, but if I want to subtract it, this one's supposed to be a numeric variable. That, you know, the data, this column supposed to be numeric data type. Unfortunately, it got assigned with text data type. You cannot do any arithmetic operation with the text column, right? So the first thing what I need to do some kind of cleaning. What kind of cleaning? For example, I just go here. I just keep the cursor over here. Okay, not here, don't keep the cursor here. Okay, somewhere you keep it in the middle of the column here, or right click on it. I'm going to do replace values. Simply what I do is, so when I select the replace values, and here what I do is find out dollar. Wherever dollar is there in this column, you replace it with empty string. If you don't specify anything, that is called empty string. And I just click on OK. Look here, the dollar went off. But still the sales column remain as a text data type. Okay, so now what I do is I just scroll down and take a look at it. So now what I can do is when I click on this icon, I can see all the data types that are available as part of our Power Query editor. One is the decimal number, fixed decimal number, whole number, percentage, date time, all these things I can see it here. Now I can go ahead and select decimal number, because since the decimal number, okay, or you can use the fixed decimal number. Okay, and you can select any one of them now itself. But if you scroll down a little bit here, that's why it is always important to take a cursory look at your all the columns data. Okay, so you just scroll down and take a look at, so are there any other issues are there? If you look at here, you'll find in the sales column itself, you'll find something called NA stands for not available. So what happens is, in your text file or any Excel file, if you have any empty values in a column, right, the Power BI desktop, while loading it, or especially when you open the Power Query, it replaces the empty value or the blank value by NA. But with this in place, if you close your eyes and simply click on the decimal number, the sales column will get converted to decimal data type. But the NA, right, since you have NA here, it will produce error here. Okay, empty values, empty strings or empty values cannot be converted as a decimal number. Hence, what I do is smartly, I just right click on it. Once again, I select replace values, and I just type NA here, and wherever NA is there, replace it with 0. Okay, I just click on OK. And if you scroll down here, look here, all the NAs got replaced with 0. And if I go ahead and convert this to a decimal number, look here, the ABC got converted as a 1 point, which means the sales column got converted as a decimal data type. Decimal. If you scroll down here, you can see, okay, it got converted successfully, right? So you don't see any error here. And we have some statistics available here. For example, if you go to the view ribbon, you'll find something called column quality, column profile, column distribution, all the things. If you select the column profile, and I would suggest you all to strictly, when you explore the data in real-time scenarios, right, you just, select the column quality at least, okay, and select this one. By default, it will not be enabled. Okay, you go to view ribbon and select column quality. For each and every column, just beneath this, you will find 3 statistics. One is valid percentage, error percentage, empty percentage. So with this, you can understand each and every column. Do we find any error? Or, let's say 3% means 3% error is there. And empty is 3%. Okay, 3% values, you find some error, the empty values are there. So you should not have any empty values, and you're not supposed to have any error in the, especially in the numeric columns. Okay, because that is where you do a lot of analytics. And even not only the numeric, even the other columns also, because once you apply these steps and when you close the query editor, if you have any error in this, it will not allow you to load it into your model. Got it? Okay, I'm going to stop this discussion. So what changes, what steps that we have, we carried out so far? I just loaded a file, And then what I did, I just, promoted the first row as a column header. That is one step I carried out. Second step is I just went here and in the sales column and I removed the dollar sign. Okay. And then I replaced the NA by 0. Okay. And then I did not remove the dollar. I replaced the dollar with some empty string and replace the NA by 0. All these steps, whatever I carried out in sequence, it got registered here. It got recorded here. For example, if I click on the replaced value one, you can see that what step I carried out. So this is one way it is good. Later point in time, you can go and verify whether you have applied the right logic to do the transformation. This is also kind of a transformation. Look here in the sales column, I replace the NA by 0. Look here, replaced value. You don't have to be familiar with all the things. So, I replace the NA by 0. And then if I click on the previous one, just before this change, I replaced dollar by the empty string in the sales column. Which column? What change you made? See, this is the record, right? Okay, it's something like a carbon copy. Whatever changes we did it, right? It is noted down here. Okay, so good. So now what I'm going to do is I just go and show you one more transformation. I hope you are not overwhelmed, right? If you think it is too much today, you let me know. So look here, this is the order date column. Just before this, you will find ABC, right? So again, the order date column got assigned with the wrong data type, text data type. It is a date data type, right? We need to convert this as a date data type, okay? So why should I convert the date data type? So that you can perform any date related manipulations, or for example you can use the built-in the date functions that are available as part of Power Query Editor or DAX, right? You can use it if the column is with the proper date data type assigned. Okay, so in this case wrongly this column got assigned with ABC, and if you look at these values in this column, it is quite weird, right? You can see the first value in this column, you can see that the month date here. Okay, month date here is US date format. Okay, this is fine. But if you come to the second value, here also we can see that month date year format is there. Look here, with this we can make out, right? So month date year is there. But the month date got separated by hyphen here, whereas the month date year got separated by forward slash. There is something, some inconsistent format is used here. We need to do some kind of reformatting. Reformatting is also falls under data transformation. Remember this term data transformation, you need to remember it. Okay, that is what I was talking about. Cleaning we do all kind of cleaning in the Power Query, right? So this is also one type of data cleaning. Okay, we need to make it consistent. Look here, what I'm going to do now in order to make all the values consistent, I just keep the cursor over, right click on it. I'm going to use the replace values. This is pretty much handy. What I do is I just replace the hyphen with forward slash. Okay, or you can do it the opposite way also. You can specify the forward slash and you can specify hyphen here. For illustration purpose, I'm using this way. Okay, wherever hyphen is there, replace with the forward slash, so that all the values in this column will have a consistent format. Fine. Look here, now the hyphen went off here. Right, so on almost all the values in this column, we can see that it has a consistent format. Each and the month date got separated by forward slash. Got it? Now if I go and change the data type, how do I change the data type? Next step is changing the data type, the appropriate data. I just click on this icon and I can see date, time, everything is there. But still what I do is, as an exception, I'm going to select something while using locale. And here I'm going to specify, this is not a text data type, the order date column, it's a date data type. And I just select this, it's not an India date format. I just scroll down and see this is month, date, year. It is a United States date format. I just select this one. If you select, the appropriate values in these two fields, we are telling the Power Query Editor, you need to convert this order date column as a date data type, that too in the United States format. Click on OK. And if you see here, there are no error. So make sure that after you change the data type, after you carry out any data, there should not be any error here. Okay. The empty is not there and error, no error. Very good. That means we are able to successfully reassign the text data type with the, we replace the text data type by the date data type. So we can see the date calendar here. Very good. We are able to successfully do this data transformation. Look here, as you keep, apply the steps, the number of steps are increasing it. But, what are the steps that we carry out? That all, recorded in sequence. Okay. Now what I do is I'm going to stop this one. Okay. So look here, I don't want to use Power Query Editor because I'm done with the changes, reformatting, formatting, everything in the data here. I'm done with this. Then why should I open this Power Query Editor unnecessarily? I just go to the file menu, click on close and apply. I have three options here. If I click on close, what will happen is all the steps, whatever I carried out, it will not get applied permanently. Okay. And if I apply, what will happen is all these steps will be carried out. Okay. But the Power Query Editor will remain open. But in my case, I don't want this Power Query Editor to be opened here because I'm done with all the steps, all the actions. What are the data transformation I need to do it. I did it, everything here. I just select close and apply. When I click on this one, the Power Query Editor will get closed. And at the same time, all the steps that I carried out, right, it will get applied to my model. I just clicked on it. It'll take some time and creating connection in model. And then week 4 sales. I change the query name as a week 4 sales. Look here, automatically in the, so now the changes got applied. Even in the report canvas, on the right side of the report canvas, you can see the changed table name, right? And if you go to the data view, you can see it, everything in the date formula. Look here, when you select this one, here also you can see the data type for each and every column. When you, so in this case, order date is a date data type. And then what format is a long format, or you can change the format also here. Okay. And for example, if you want the date to be displayed like this, right, you can select the format. So long date is, enough at this moment. Okay, I'm done with this. And guys, remember one thing very clearly. I removed how many columns? One column, row.id. Row.id, I removed in that column in my Power Query Editor. That doesn't mean the row.id column will get removed from my operating system file. Okay, it is still, see, this file still will have the row.id in it. We did not remove the data of, here, right? We just removed it there. So what happens is the content of this file, look here, row.id is still there in this file. So this file was not disturbed. Okay. The entire content of this file got loaded into Power BI memory. In that memory only we remove the row.id. And now the question is, okay, this, Power BI desktop, right? Currently it is not having the row.id. Fine. So now, in the model, what are the steps that we carried, right? It got applied in this model. Okay. And the changes. Okay. Fine. So now we understood, if I remove any column or if I make any changes to the data here, it will not get affected in the OS file. But still this one will have the older format, right? The order date will have text format only, sales column have the dollar in it. Okay. But in the whatever the data we loaded in the Power BI memory, right? So Power BI desktop memory, that is where all the changes applied, and all the changed data, made part of my Power BI desktop itself. This, whatever the changes I made, right, that is available as part of Power BI desktop. And if somebody is asking in the interview, so once you load the data into Power BI desktop, so do I need to, publish this report on cloud, or do I, along with the report, do I need to publish the data file explicitly? You don't have to publish the data file explicitly to cloud. Simply you just click on the publish icon. It will simply publish the report along with the data automatically. Okay. So now the data has been made part of the Power BI desktop itself. That is what you need to remember. And now you just see here, I just go and save this file with some name. Okay, save as day1 load heterogeneous, right? Heterogeneous data. Okay, and I just in the date that one folder, I just save it. Look here, the untitled now got renamed with the day1 load head data. And if I go to my folder here, day1, look here, this is what my file. My report file name is day1 load head data, and the extension of the file is .pbix. Remember that the Power BI report file extension is .pbix. Okay. The interview they might ask you, okay, what is the extension of the Power BI report file? You need to say .pbix. And they'll ask you what are the data files that you use it. You can say the comma separated values, Excel files, and SQL server. Okay, obviously I'll show you how to connect to SQL server. Okay, so somebody sent a message, right? So we can wrap up now. So what we will do is tomorrow, same time, we will continue. Okay, and the same session, right? We'll continue. So those of you preferred the weekdays, you don't have to join this weekend. And those of you, right? So I told you, right? So weekend, right? You can join this weekend. Okay, the Saturday Sunday batch. The timing remains the same, 9 to 11. So that weekdays, those of you work in night shift, right? You don't have to worry about it, right? So weekend peacefully you can attend it. 9 to 10:45. I will be covering it tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Any questions so far? Okay, the today's session video will get uploaded. Don't worry. I will share the link and yeah, the data file, everything is, I'll look here. I just show you where you need to download the data file from my website. So in my website, the previous batch thing also I got uploaded here. Look here, you just click on the login and whatever the credential that I shared it with you, right? For example, Diksha Rathore, I just log in with her ID. And if you scroll down here, you will find something like this is the one got assigned to you, or else simply go to the courses. Once you log in and click on the courses, and if you scroll down, you will find Power BI full stack, not this one data science. It is instructor led course. Okay, Power BI, the second one. Okay, full stack Power BI instructor led. Click on the view more. And if you go here, just beneath the curriculum, you will find everything here. Okay, the introduction, the previous batch recorded videos will be there. And you will, in the second section, one point, you will find download resources. When you click on this, and you will find the download icon here. When you click on the download, it will download a big file. It's a zip file. So you just copy this zip file, after it gets downloaded, and then you keep it in a folder, right? So, in your preferred folder, and then unzip it there so that all the report files and the data file, everything will be available there. Okay. And you can use it. You can also start practice it side by side with me. But some people, they felt, practicing it side by side, they are losing the focus. It's up to you. If you are quick, if you are very fast in typing, right, probably you can try it side by side with me. Okay, fine, guys. I hope my speed is, you are able to cope up with my pace, right? I'm not rushing. If you think I'm rushing, you let me know. Tomorrow we'll take a look at how to connect to database, the cloud based, Microsoft cloud based storage, right? How to connect there in cloud, and how to import the data into your Power BI desktop. And also we will take a look at the different types of connectivity mode. One is the import mode, other one is the direct connectivity mode. And also we'll demonstrate you how to connect to SQL. So tomorrow we'll spend we'll spend quite a time. Okay, so to explore various other sources also. Okay, guys, thanks for all your patience. Since you don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap up the session. And just give me a second. Abhinaya, good that you joined, and Madan, Monica joined, and Sagar, you joined, very good. And Sakshi, you joined, very good. And Smith, Sakshi, don't worry. Tomorrow we are going to cover the new topics, okay? And Sumit, very good. And Swarna and Vinayak, very good. Okay, but Kiran you missed out. Okay, no problem. So you can, I'll share the video so that all of you can watch it. Those of you miss out, you can watch my video, okay? And you can start practicing, okay?